Good morning, everybody. Sorry I was gone last week. I took my mother, she's almost 80. I took her 8 hours north to Minnesota to see a couple of her friends. And we left on Friday and drove about 8 hours. And then Saturday I drove them around all day. And then Sunday I drove them back home, or we drove back home, and all of that driving was so exhausting. It just surprised me. The older I get, the weirdest things happen, and now driving many hours, 3 days in a row, literally is more exhausting than walking every day 20 miles. So I don't know why that wore me out, but if you have that same experience as you've gotten older, that driving is just so exhausting, let me know. But anyway, I wanted to talk about my Rails to Trails goal. I have a Rails to Trails book. So when I first started to get interested in all of these bike trails, I got a copy of this book, and there are 29 Rails to Trails converted, bike trails. Okay, so in this book, this is a list of the 29 trails, and this is Iowa. So all the ones that have a check are the ones that I have accomplished so far. And because I live in central Iowa, I've done all of these and I've worked my way out. And so now I'm trying to get the corners of the state. But then I found out that there were over 101 Rails to Trails bike trails in Iowa. And so this book was published in 2017 and it's been reprinted in 2022, but I don't think it's been changed since 2017. And so I think these were like the original 29 or the main 29. But now my goal is expanded to finish these 29 trails, but to do a bunch of the other Rails to Trails as well. And note that many of them are like 1 mile trails, and I'm not going to travel all over the state to walk 1 mile or 2 miles, 1 mile out and back, but there are some longer trails. So today I am in Marshalltown. So here's Des Moines. Marshalltown is just about like right here, just northeast of the Des Moines metro area. And so I'm going to do the Linn Creek Trail in Marshalltown. And I might do another trail today too. We'll just see how long this takes. It is a 10-mile trail. And right now I'm at the Grimes Nature and Conservation Center. And so I'll get out and hopefully there's a informational sign. But anyway, this is the Rails to Trails. This is my goal this year, is to finish these and then just to keep walking the other 100 or so Rails to Trails in Iowa. So here's the Grimes Creek or Grimes Farm Conservation Center and Amphitheater back there. We'll go back there really quick because it looks really pretty. And I really think Iowa does a good job at building really beautiful conservation centers. So I never really know what I am going to find when I come to these trails. But yeah, that's a beautiful conservation center. But it is not, oh, and there's an observation tower somewhere. Cool. So there's a little playscape for kids. Yeah, this is a really pretty area. They've got lots of prairie grasses, and for being Marshalltown, I would have just thought it would be a little bit more urban right now. So this is nice that it kind of starts out in the country a little bit, and we'll just see where it goes. Okay, I was just reading about this trail. So the Iowa River is a really beautiful river, and so Linn Creek was formed on top of the levee to help avoid floods from the Iowa River. So that's kind of cool. And they talk about how from a medium-sized city, this trail feels quite secluded and rural for a lot of it. So that's great. I've already passed a lot of people, and it looks like the girls cross country team is here to do a run, but it's the perfect length. It's 10 miles, so I'm gonna walk 10 miles out and 10 miles back. So it's a loved trail, and I can totally see why. Okay, and today is August 23rd, 2025, and it's been pretty hot this week, but today I think the high is only about 74, and right now it's about 68 degrees, but it is still humid, so it's probably like 85% humidity, and that just makes walking a lot harder. And it makes things feel a lot hotter than they really are. Oh, my shadow of my camera. Okay, I'm out of the sun. But if you're new to this channel, if you like it, please like and subscribe. But if you want to know, like, why am I doing these 29 rails to trails, or there's hundreds of them or 100 of them. Because I live in Iowa, and I love the mountains, and I watch all those hikers on the PCT and the Appalachian Trail, and I just get really jealous of them, and I would love to hike those trails, but I work full time, I help run a business, and I live in Iowa, and so I thought I'm just gonna start walking the bike trails that we have in Iowa, because that's what we have. And sometimes instead of thinking, oh, I wish I could do this, I wish I could do that, figure out what you can do here and where you are, and make the most of it, out of that, or else you're just going to be kind of miserable and not enjoying what you have and being grateful for what you have. So in Iowa, we don't have mountains. We have hundreds and hundreds of miles of bike trail. So that's why I'm walking them. A prairie area, and then Judge Park is to the right, but we're not going that way, but it looks like that would be nice. And we're just going to keep going. It says Riverview. So you walk by these softball and baseball fields, and then they're doing something up there, so that'll be nice. Yeah, so there's going to be the Ansi Kaiser Trailhead and Emerson Bridge. So that's so nice to see when they're still working on trails and trying to, just improve the look of their town. Oh, I'm gonna stop at that Quick Star. Okay, so if you need to go to the bathroom or resupply, you can go to that Quick Star. And this is cool. Okay, so I'm coming up to the end. This is Riverview Park. So looks like they've got like a frisbee golf course, and that's probably pickleball courts and a volleyball net. Oh yeah, and they're playing. And then this is the Iowa River. So it's really pretty. It's really high right now because we've had so much rain. Okay, so this is Riverview Park behind me. So it's at the end of the trail, but the trail, I went as far as I could go, and I started right at the beginning. It's really only 8.7 miles. And I know that because I've got, this is like an Aura ring, but it's not. It's a $49 one off Amazon. And it's like all the text is in Chinese, and it's in kilometers, and I
I've changed it to miles, but it keeps going back to kilometers. But anyway, I did the conversion and it was 8.7 miles, and that sounds correct with the time it's taken me to get here. So anyway, so it's a little bit shorter than I thought, which is good because then I can walk another trail that I wanted to walk today. So we'll just see how that goes, but it's a beautiful day and it's real sunny, but the wind makes it feel nice and cool, and I've been waiting for some nice cool weather. So this is what it looks like coming into, I think, what was that called? Riverside Park. There's a really neat, oh, where it is? There it is. Building. I suppose that's the courthouse. I wish I could get closer to it. It's really pretty. Oh, and I keep forgetting to mention, I think I've done 19 of the 29 rails to trails bike paths in my book. I thought it was like up to 22, but I don't know where I got that because I really studied my book last night. And the 2 trails that I'm going to do today don't count toward those 29. So, but it does count toward like the 100, you know, rails to trails bike paths. So, but anyway, by the end of this year, I want to get those 29 accomplished. It's just that some of them are 3 to 4 hours away. So I'm going to, and they're long. So I have to make weekend excursions out of them, which is fun. And I'm looking forward to it, but I have to wait till the weather cools down a little bit if I'm going to walk 30 miles on a trail. So anyway, I just wanted to mention that. So I think I'm at 19 out of 29 for the rails to trails, but I have walked other paths. I don't know how many others. So that is the dealio on that. And this is your view for a while too, just kind of, you know, along the river. So there's a lot of, you know, just industrial areas because, you know, they can't build a ton along a river like this. So, but I just think this is a really pleasant trail. I think the citizens of Marshalltown are really lucky to have it and they use it. So that's really wonderful to see. I've seen probably, I don't know, 40 bikers and runners and walkers. So that's really nice. This is the only trail that I've seen so far that has that in case of an emergency, call 911, and then it tells me the mile marker. So I think I have 2.5 more miles back or so. But I'm back in this pretty section, so I think it's the prettiest, but I really like this trail a lot. And this is your view as you walk back into Grimes Farm. So if you started the opposite direction, you know, you get to really end in a beautiful place. And the sky is beautiful today. So I'm almost finished with this trail. And so I think it's 17 miles or, you know, a little bit more. And then I'm going to go to the River's Edge Trail, which is a 7-mile trail. And I'm going to walk that up and back as well. So 17 plus 14, whatever that is my total for the day. Well, we'll see when I get there. So I'm not to the trailhead yet. I'm just still walking there. It said parking was by the Quick Star, where I stopped on my first walk to go to the bathroom. And now I'm walking to the trailhead, which I think I probably could have parked closer to. Okay, this is really confusing. I think I can go up here. I think I'm supposed to be on this bridge. Okay, so I came up on the bridge and I think this is the trail right here, I'm guessing. So I'm walking over this busy bridge. And then I want to show you what looks like their courthouse. how beautiful that is. So they're right, you can't park in this circle. And it doesn't look like there's any like place where you can park. So, and then they call this the Ann Kaiser Trailhead. And, but on my Trail Link app, it's called the River's Edge Trail. So I'm still gonna make sure this is the right trail, but I think so. So some of you might be wondering, why are you walking so much? You've already walked 17 miles. Why do you need to walk more? Well, because I'm a ruminator. Raise your hand if you're a ruminator. And I didn't have the best week. I have a lot on my mind, and I feel like if I walk my guts out, my brain will feel a lot better, and that's just how I function best. So maybe you can relate, or maybe you think I'm nuts, and that's probably true. But anyway, we're just gonna see how this trail goes. The other trail said it was 10 miles and it was only 8.7. So maybe this one, it says it's 7.1, maybe it's 6.5, and it's not gonna be such a long day, but we'll see how it goes. This grass is pretty. So the first mile or two of this trail, you're just kind of going through a nice residential area. And that was very pleasant. But now I guess there's still homes over there, but it's a little bit more rural, real quiet. I can't hear any cars. But it's called the River's Edge Trail, but I don't see a river. So anyway, that's okay. This is a very nice trail. Oh yeah, it got real rural all of a sudden. And look at that beautiful frog or toad. I don't even think I'm capturing his color. He is really pretty. Okay, I think I have walked 3 miles, and I should have read about this trail. It said it was 7.1 miles, but it is in like tiny little sections in 2 totally different places. So I think I've gone 3 miles. So I'll walk back and call it a day. Now he came all the way out, but he's in the shade. He doesn't mind me. He's cute. I know I showed this before, but this pampas grass is just so beautiful. Well, and they planted it so far down the path. And just the way the sun is hitting it is so pretty. Down there it just looks so bright silver. I love it. There's a purple tree. I decided to walk to the courthouse, but this is a neat building right there. Standard Oil Company. That's their office from years and years ago. It's really windy, but look at that beautiful church. And then there's the courthouse. I think it is gorgeous. So I'm just gonna take you around a little bit of Marshalltown because I think it's beautiful. And there's the courthouse. And then the courthouse is usually in the middle of the square. So they're doing a lot of work around there, but I'm gonna try to get closer. But it's just such a pretty courthouse. I love it. And then the town square just goes around. So we'll walk around and then head back to the car. But, oh, and then look at that building right there. Next to that one, that's neat. We'll go look at that. And these buildings buildings are so old, and the Masonic Temple is old. There's that beautiful courthouse. And I really think this Gothic style building next to it is neat. It is now in Edward Jones. But at one point the mayor lived there. No, I'm just kidding. I don't know. That's probably not true. And then that person is Henry Anson, founder of Marshalltown. So this is a map of the trails I took today. Well, I'm back in my car, nice and sunburned. I kind of like it that way at this time of year. And so thanks for walking with me today. We walked the Linn Creek Greenbelt Recreational Trail, which was, I think, about 17.2 miles out and back. And then we walked the River Edge Trail, but just 3 miles out and 3 miles back. That's going to be a 34-mile long trail eventually, but not much of it is done. So it was a great day. I loved Marshalltown. I thought these trails were great. There were tons of people outside enjoying the beautiful day. So I just had the best day ever. I don't exactly know how many miles I went. I'll put what my health app says at the end, because my luck ring, this thing right here, it counted, even though I had it paused, it counted my drive from the end of one trail to the beginning of the next trail. So that's not accurate. But anyway, and it took me, let's see, I think 6.5 hours. So I think I walked around 25 miles today, but we'll see. Anyway, my brain feels a lot better. I feel a lot better to get a long run in. So anyway, I hope you enjoyed Marshalltown and the trails, and thanks for walking with me.